This week we've got a bunch of news. Some of it is crazy, terrible, and dumb, but I'm only going to cover a few of those, and I will end on a positive note because we need more positive notes. That means we're going to be talking about GM. We're going to be talking about some more GM. We're going to be talking about Kia. We're going to be talking about Tesla Chargers. Ooh, I wonder if that's the dumb story or the great one. You'll find out when I'm joined by my buddy Mark here from the Tesla Life. He's got a great show. It's out every Wednesday live, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and they've got some express shows that run throughout the week as well. It's a lot of fun. You got to watch it. You got to go over there and check it out. Anyway, I'm Brian. Welcome to Futurazza. Mark, how have you been?
Doing well, Brian. How are things on your end?
Things are well with me. I've got a question for you. I heard a rumor today that Toronto is pronounced Toronto.
Tirana.
Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Is it really Tirana?
It's a slang. It's
well, right, but what do the locals call it?
Tirana.
Well, don't I feel like a jerk with my hard T's?
Well, people know what you're talking about. Don't worry about it.
I think they'll figure it out, but
that's like the suburb of Toronto, Mississauga. You should see how that's pronounced. That's crazy, all over the board for that one.
I imagine there's a lot of hard U's in that one. Mississauga. Yeah, there's a lot of First Nation cities that are just really fun to hear people from out of town pronounce.
Yep.
Whenever my state makes the news, we've got a good percentage of cities with names like that.
And of course, the news with Toronto, the big news is we're in the World Series.
So I am close to Seattle, and the Seattle Mariners were close to my heart a long time ago.
Yeah.
A long time ago. I stopped watching them. Guys, we're going to get to the news, I promise, but this is more important. I followed them until there was a big leak that found that the ownership was not interested in building a winning team. They were interested in building a profitable team. And that's when I was like, I'm out. If you don't want to win, why am I watching? So the Mariners have made it to the pennant race 4 times. In 95, in 2000, and 2001, and of course this year, 2025. What do those 4 teams have in common? Well, for the first 3, they had a catcher, a all-star catcher, a Hall of Fame, probably. I don't know if he's Hall of Fame, but he's got a World Series ring from his time with the Yankees. He's got a gold medal from the Olympics. Catcher Dan Wilson was there all 3 times to have his heart broken, not once or twice, but thrice. Who's the manager of the Seattle Mariners today?
I don't know.
Dan Wilson.
Look at that.
All 4 times he's in the dugout.
Just gritting his teeth.
It's heartbreaking. He's such a good guy. I got to meet him. He was the Santa at my third son's preschool. And the kids were so excited it was the real Santa, and the parents were so excited it was the real Dan Wilson. And none of the kids were old enough to ask why we're having Santa sign baseballs.
That's confusing to kids, I'm sure.
Guys, we're 3 minutes in and we haven't even talked about the news. The news is news of the dumb. Did I echo? Did it sound good? I asked the editor to add an echo. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. We'll find out. U.S. Department of Energy cancels $700 million in battery and manufacturing grants. Unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Now, Tesla is not named in this. Tesla will survive with or without grants, but this is for Ascend Elements, American Battery Technology, Onovian, and ICL Specialty Products, as well as glass producer Luxwall. The largest single grant was intended to support Ascend Elements' plan to produce components from recycled electric vehicles in Hopkinsville, Kentucky.
You know what the real problem with this, Brian, is? The real issue is that North America is behind when it comes to battery technology. And we're always talking about how do we get batteries cheaper? How do we make them better, more efficient? Well, how you do that is research and grants to be able to take projects that may not be profitable off the start, but to break into new territory. And taking away these grants is just going to put us further and further behind because we're not going to have people that extend outside of the box of profitability to try to make things better.
So we're talking about St. Louis, not exactly. I mean, Missouri is not exactly a blue state. We're talking about Nevada. I mean, certainly. I mean, this is very frustrating. Alabama. These are the things we need to compete on the global scale, on the global stage. This is very frustrating to see. And it's like, well, they're falling behind. Well, but they're still moving forward. I guess not. This is going to cause potential problems. I think, again, news of the dumb. And if you want to talk about dumb, Chattanooga Charge is going to have me at their event in March. I've got a special booth called In the Weeds with Futurazza, because when my viewers come to meet me at events, they always say, hey, I got a weird one. Can I ask you something? And they ask the most amazing questions. I always go, God, I wish I should just throw a mic on you and record it. And I'm going to do that.
There you go.
So it's going to be great. A lot of people there, a lot of presentations, a lot of panels, a lot of vendors, and it's going to be 3 days of fun. The Saturday is, of course, the critical day. The Friday and Sunday, a little more optional. But if we want to really talk dumb, what's Kia up to these days?
Ah, yes, Kia. What are they doing really here? Like, it's really strange that that motor oil is nostalgic.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, so not nostalgic, motor oil and gasoline scented car fresheners to EV buyers. Guys, that's not the part that we're nostalgic about. Yes, I mean, give us lead flavored water. That's also part of our childhood. Maybe we love the good scent of rubber and exhaust at a racetrack.
I
But
really
every
thought
time you
Kia
get into a
understood this
car,
because they got a pretty good lineup of EVs, and they're pretty forward thinking with the different models of EVs that they provide. But this just tells me that someone is completely missing the boat at Kia.
are you guys replacing your marketing department with ChatGPT? Because it feels like it. I don't know what prompt you wrote to get this humdinger, but boy, in partnership with Finnish perfumier, Kia set out to make the transition a little bit easier. Did it? The result is a scent reminiscent of a car workshop. It's not great. I don't.
Yeah. And if people really wanted that, they'd be taking sponges to their local gas station and dipping it into a little bit of gasoline, just throwing it in the back seat.
I mean, add the scent of fresh cut grass and you got lawnmower. What are we doing? So now we've got our next really great bit of dumb news. GM to end electric van production at the Cammy plant in Ingersoll, Ontario.
Yeah, that is just a few kilometers down the road from me here, and this is unfortunate. We had the Cammy assembly plant actually bring a brake drop out to our National Drive Electric Month event in Waterloo, Ontario this year. I'll put a link if you'd like to see the video. We got a 5-minute video.
Send me that.
Yep, and they unfortunately at the time were closed. They were shut down, waiting for new orders, and the orders came in just today, and those orders were shut down completely. And that's unfortunate. This is GM's only wing that builds electric vehicles in Ontario, and part of this is because of tariffs. That this has become unprofitable for them to build them in Ontario.
They are already a bit expensive, especially compared to their gas counterparts. And now you're going to slap a tariff on them coming into the US. Not you, obviously, not me, less obviously, but the US tariffs the vehicles coming in. That makes them non-competitive. I don't know if GM was making any money on these in the first place. They certainly can't cut the cost by the amount of the tariff. It's just unfortunate. There was $1 billion retooling investment, and it's just done.
Yeah.
And I got a chance to see a bright drop myself last week for the first time at the 4th Roadmap Conference in Detroit. There was a company there called Grounded who makes who does upfits, and they had a bright drop that was converted into a mobile command center, a little mobile office, their mobile office. But they also do food carts and pet grooming, whatever you could need. So, but they do it with other vehicles as well, other EV vans, other large cargo vans. But I guess the bright drop was great because it had the best range of the pure
it did.
electric.
It had a massive amount of range, close to 300 miles. And the price here in Canada was about $74,000 was the
That's
cost, which is
remarkably,
quite
yeah.
acceptable, I would think. I know that they were slow to uptake even here. We have delivery vans from Amazon, FedEx, DHL, and others that have purchased some of the Bright Drop vehicles. We see them around town every once in a while. But unfortunately, I don't think they're going to have a chance to. We have heard a crazy rumor, and it's unsubstantiated, about them restructuring, and the Bright Drop really hasn't been completely quit, but I have no second source on that.
GM emphasized that Canada remains central to its operations. There's a new $600 million battery materials facility under construction in, I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try. In Quebec. In Quebec. Is that better?
Quebec.
That one?
Yes, indeed.
Quebec.
Quebec.
Ah.
The dialect's going to kill you, I know. But.
I thought my Spanish was bad. So unfortunate, but here's a real good one for you. This was really quite a car. GM president admits canceling the EV1 was a bad idea. Whoops. Yeah.
I have to say that this has been something that's been dogging GM since the 90s when this car first came out. And then a few years later when they were caught crushing them, when they were returned from lease. Get over it, GM. Move on. This is old news. Yes, it was a mistake, but you've done some other things since then. Why don't you just continue with those and make them better?
It's fun because if that documentary, Who Killed the Electric Car, had not been made, this would be a forgotten vehicle.
Yeah.
But the problem is Hollywood loved these cars. You're going to get a documentary. By the way, who is this guy? Do you know? This is Mark Roos. Do you know who that is?
Yes, he is the president of GM.
I did not know that. He is the president of GM. We always hear about the CEO. We don't hear as much about the president.
And Mark has been around for decades. I actually had the pleasure of meeting Mark at the Detroit Auto Show one year when he was introducing the first generation of the Volt.
Wonderful. What an opportunity. So let's get past news of the dumb and get into Tesla added more superchargers in Q3 than the next 9 networks combined. The Tesla supercharger account on X said, we've been adding a new charger at a rate of 1 every 32 minutes. There are now 10,000 superchargers in California. And I assume they mean handles, not stations. That would be too many stations. But that is unbelievable. That is, Tesla, 1,820. A reasonable percentage of their all-time high. I mean, that's 5% of what they've done ever in the last quarter.
Yeah. And that's just in a quarter. Yeah.
And that's just in a quarter. There are some other names you're going to see. Once you get past Rivian Adventure, there is a long tail of companies putting out 5, 10, 50. There's a company in Portland called Opconnect that makes chargers. They've been putting out, I think it was 18 handles a day, 18 ports a day is their current pace. So they might pop onto here next quarter. Just kind of depends.
Yeah, one in Michigan is Red E. It's one that I have never seen, but Red E is up there with ChargePoint.
That's honestly a bit remarkable. Electrify America, I mean, I'm glad they're still around. lower your prices. It's ridiculous. You know what time it is?
It's
Question time.
Is it question time again?
Yeah. Toyota. This is last week. Toyota delays solid state dreams. I'm just going to go ahead and give that a thumbs up. Cost not. What was that? Did you see that?
Yeah, red bar. What was that?
A wheel. That was a wheel.
Wow. An animation.
Well, I'll be several monkeys' uncle. Yeah. This is just, anyway, that's what we did last week. Let's zip down to here. Thanks, Brian and Mark, for another fun show. You got it, Doug. Okay. Here's some suggestions for New Age of Robots TV series. My Mother the Bot, Cybercab 54, Where Are You? Night Cabber, The Model X Files, and Dancing with the Bots.
Excellent Model K. Those are some excellent suggestions.
I've got a better suggestion. It's not a TV show. It's a movie. It's Smokey and the Bandit. We've got a Roadster. We've got a Semi. One of them has to come out once the other one does as well. You got all the pieces you're missing. And it would be inarguably a terrible movie, so it would fit.
It would live on forever.
It would be just like the originals. Terrible, but wonderful. Now, David, we'll come back to David because this is thesis level stuff. We don't have many other questions on this one. Did you say that you're Supra serious? Nah, I wish I had. That would have been great. I believe it's pronounced super cereal, by the way. Of course, Al Gore in South Park. Yes. If they had solid state tech, why would they not put it in their hybrids? If they had it, it would automatically make their hybrids better than everyone else, wouldn't it? Or, our hybrid has 2 miles of EV range and a big petrol. It's the same price, same performance, less price. When Toyota was bragging about their imaginary battery a few years ago, what I told people was if it existed and they could make it at the price with those specs, Toyota would cease to be a car company. They would become the world's largest battery supplier and it would dominate. Everybody would want them.
Yeah.
But it doesn't exist. I can write some numbers on a piece of paper, but that doesn't mean I'm a battery maker either. Surely they've released the solid state batteries by now. They've been talking about it for a long time. And no, I won't stop calling you Shirley.
There we go. Airplane joke right there.
Yeah. Big building full of sick people, but that's not important right now. Did you get a new camera? I did not. It just looks better with the hotel lighting. I know I need new lighting, but it's expensive. And that was it. So let's get back to this thesis level question. Because there's 4 at least big questions here. I'm going to need your help, Mark. By the way, guys, you can ask questions. We will answer them, just like this one. We can't get to all of them usually. This was an unusually light week. Maybe it was the topic. Maybe people are Toyota'd out. Maybe they've had a Toyota-thon hangover. And by the way, follow Mark at the Tesla Life. He puts out a great show every week with Patrick and Casey, live Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Do not miss it. Do not.
And when you do send us a question in this forum, remember, add a question mark to it.
Oh, yeah. If it's a statement, Control F is immune to those. 2 main questions. 2. I'm going to tell you, I see a lot more question marks than that. Aside from the very short charging time only solid state can reach, I hear often of non-solid state batteries achieving better and better specs. So yeah, the solid state they announced 5 years ago, normal batteries are catching up to it. Like wider optimal temps, sodium, greater energy density, both volumetric and gravimetric, better thermal management, many more charge cycles, lower cost materials, plus AI is discovering new chemicals all the time, and some of those new ones may bring some of the benefits solid state was meant to have. So with these benefits flowing to non-solid state batteries, could solid state batteries get outcompeted by the time they get out of the lab?
That is always a concern when it comes to new technology, is that the old technology typically doesn't sit still. And that's what's going on with battery tech. Battery tech every year gets about 5% better every single year. 4% here, 6% there. It's something that, you're right, solid state could have a real problem getting out of the starting block if regular batteries have caught up to it or have come real close to it.
That's the problem we saw with Dojo. When Dojo was announced, it looked like it had the capacity to solve a whole bunch of problems that by the time it was available for commercialization, Nvidia had surpassed it. So you go, okay, well, lesson learned. Also, is it possible that Giga Mexico land could be converted to a Megapack or Cybercab facility for export to South America, US, etc., and exclude Mexico battery sales if PEMX is opposed to batteries in Mexico? Well, that part is secondary. The first question, Mark, I think you can take this, is could they use that land for a Megapack factory or a Cybercab factory?
They could use it for a Megapack factory or a Cybercab factory. The only issue is Mexico being hit with tariffs as well. Because if you're introducing them or trying to get them across the border into the US, that's going to be prohibitive. If you're going to South America, where no tariffs exist, you'd have a better chance of doing something that would be profitable.
Absolutely. Well, what this question is saying is ignore the US. The US will have its own Cybercab factory. Just sending them to other countries. Mexico is part of the Trans-Pacific Partnership. It's part of a Latin trade coalition. It has about 70 free trade agreements where the U.S. only has, I think, 25 or 30. So there are a lot of countries it could export to. That's what we thought the plan was. And then they just didn't. They just stopped. So yes to both of those, but I don't see them doing it. I don't know about the Megapack factory. I would think they would want to do that somewhere that has a battery factory domestically, and Mexico does not have any LFP factories domestically. They don't really even have the minerals needed to make the batteries, but they certainly don't have the factories. Unfortunate. And yes, PEMX, I don't think they're opposed to the batteries for grid scale. They need them for a number of uses. I think what they would be opposed to is a big solar farm feeding into the grid. So, and third minor question, how quickly do you anticipate Toyota and Stellantis sales and solvency falling apart? I agree that both are in bad shape regarding future-proofing their vehicles and drivetrains, but I'm curious what you think when the inflection point might be. Let's do one at a time. Do you think Toyota's in trouble?
I don't think Toyota is in too much trouble. I think they're pretty solid financially, and I think that they have some key markets that are not wavering. So I think Toyota is in pretty good shape, and nothing's going to happen to them for the next couple of years.
I would agree with that entirely. We also saw predictions. A big channel made a very bold prediction that GM would be bankrupt inside of 2 years. And I said, whoa, that's remarkable. And then the quarterlies came out this week, and GM beat Wall Street expectations. They are churning quite a bit of cash. And that's even with writing down one-time losses on their EV business. Toyota definitely isn't going anywhere, and Toyota is too big to fail. I think the Japanese government would bail them out if it came to that, but I don't see that on the roadmap. Then you've got Stellantis. What do you think they're up to?
Stellantis has been on shaky ground in North America for quite some time. I think they're being propped up by their European business, and I think that there could be what would you say, maybe a restructuring when it comes to North American, because they're just not making the profit that they need to. But they've actually continued to be here. And if I was being honest, I would have thought that Stellantis would have had that restructuring already by now.
Agree on all counts. Stellantis, I think, is the only company of the big three that is not too big to fail. I think that one, depending who's in office, would absolutely let them go under. And that would be problematic because I don't know what you do at that point other than restructure. Their models are missing the mark, I guess I'd say. The Charger, very dumb. I don't know who that was for, and no one did because it wasn't for anyone. So hopefully they get their their business sorted out. I would say that if you wish to support the channel, there are a bunch of ways to do it. I would appreciate it. You can just subscribe, like, leave a comment that we can address next week. And everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots on the Flippity Flop.